And the rolling start commences, and we are underway here at the Motorsports Playground. Already a little bit of blocking before the line from Gito Yakuin. We'll have to see what the stewards think about that. And he shoots to the lead in turn number 1 over last week's winner, Kana Arima, in the Team Red Bull Junior team car. AUS Racing with Gito Yakuin right now, one of the most consistently fast drivers in the field, and it's all rookies up front once again. Yakuin starting to pull away just a bit already as they're almost 3 wide in the background there. I think everyone made it out of there, surprisingly. That was Chaz Brejon on the inside of Wyman Malinovic, I believe. And I believe the, and a lockup for the leader, I believe. That was Yakuin. I don't see him. There he is. He's still on course. But there was some sort of issue with the lockup. Possibly the rear tires. Into the bank section for the first time today. Kana Arima retakes the lead, but Gito Yakuin is right there. He pulls to the inside. And down into the backstretch chicane, Gito Yakuin is once again going to retake the lead from the pole sitter. Nice move. Take another look at what happened here. On board with Gito Yakuin in the 72. Down into the braking zone. Oh, the rears lock up really hard. And he just overcorrects it. The steering wheel may have disconnected there for a second too, because it looked like it was sort of steering itself there for a second. That must have been a really nerve-wracking moment, especially when you're not even halfway through the lap yet. And then right here, Yakuin gets a run off of Speedway 2, gets to the inside, and says, "Thank you very much, I'll retake that spot," and drive away with the lead. Down into the braking zone and watching as they come all the way around. Declan Turris tries to cut to the inside there. That was a little bit close between the two. And remember how fast he was in the rookie race. We didn't really get to see Arima and Kurikawa's speed in that race because they ended up crashing with each other, but Declan Turris ended up fighting Gito Yakuin for the lead all throughout that race. Pretty crazy battle between those two rookies, and now he's looking for his first career victory. All of his other buddies have got it. Why not him next? Looking for second on last week's winner, Kana Arima, who already has 2 wins on the season. Oh, and Arima goes wide, and he will take the second spot out of the backstretch chicane. How about that for a pass? Declan Turris is just on rails right now. Made up 2 seconds that last lap on the leader, and now here he comes. He's right to the back end of Gito Yakuin, hounding him for the first spot. I don't think Yakuin is going to just lay over and let him have it, though, despite him being so much faster. A little bit wide there from the 72 machine. Down into the right-hander braking zone. This is where we see Declan Turris make up the most ground on the 72 machine. Also this coming corner. Oh, and a big dive bomb from the 10 car. Does he make it stick? No. Big left side lockup on the 10 machine of Declan Turris as he tries to go for the lead. Sends it in there. These two are battling super hard for the rookie race, as we mentioned earlier. In 2024 was the rookie race, and we're gearing up to have another one this year. But looking back to the inside is the number 10 machine. These two are battling then, and now they're battling even harder as these wins count for points. Oh, and a little bit wide for the 10 car. He has to hold on to it. Saves the race car, but loses a bunch of time to the 72. Here's a look at that dive bomb by the number 10 machine of Declan Turris. Sends it in there, and you can see the left front just locks up. And he goes right through. then right here, I'm not entirely sure what happened. But we'll see from the outside camera view. As he turns in, just got a little bit wide, and I don't know what happened there. Maybe the car got tight and he tried to overcorrect it and it suddenly got loose on him. But he just pushes wide and ends up losing a ton of time to the leader. Oh, and we got a car in the wall. Fabio Brizza was running inside the top 10. The back half. But was making a pretty significant ground on the drivers in front of him after his last pit stop. But he seems to be out of the race. Take another look here from our stationary camera. Oh, and that's a big hit. Looks like he might have gotten on the outside grass on the entry to the corner. That just spun his car around. Take another look as he heads down into the left-hander. Yeah, and right there you can see... Oh, you can see the right front get up into the air. And that meant that that left rear tire was in the grass on entry and just ended up spinning it right around. Here's another look on board with Fabio Brizza. Oh yeah, car just goes right around on him. Big contact and out of the race. Here's one last look at it as he heads down into the braking zone. And you'll see it from this head-on shot here. Just as he gets too far to the outside on entry, the rear end starts to snap around on him. He overcorrects, the car goes back one way, and it does one full rotation, spinning backwards, even virtually, is the worst experience because you don't know where you're going to hit or if you're even going to hit anything. And he does hit something very hard indeed. Car gets up into the air, but thankfully lands back on all fours. And that takes the number 1 car out of the race. As we watch the leaders come out of the corner. Oh, and we got one going around behind. I believe he missed everybody. That's a great car. And I think that that's Wakana Gojo and the high-tech. And it is. You can see he's doing a little bit of a turnaround back there, trying to get his car back going. And getting it back going, but that he was inside the top 10 there, so that's going to lose him a bunch of positions. All the way back to 18th on the scoring pylon, only ahead of Wyman Malinovic. Take another look, battling for the 11th spot with Alia Kulikov. Pulls to the inside. Oh, and the rear end just comes out from underneath him. Very lucky not to collect anybody else in that. And ends up just driving right through. And doing a little whip turnaround and trying to get back going in the right direction without having to reverse and save a bunch of time, or lose a bunch of time. Another look on board with Alia Kulikov. Gets to the inside of the two, and he's trying to pass her back. Sends it to the inside, and the rear end just comes out from underneath him. And he ends up going spinning off the course. Oh, and here's another battle further back. Tommy Shell Jr., this is for the 13th spot alongside Gaylord Elkgrove in the number 72A machine. Out of Speedway, turn number 2. That's not going to work. And Elkgrove hard into the outside wall. Oh my goodness. And that's one of the first live crashes we've caught all season. And a huge impact, second straight DNF for Gaylord Elkgrove. And he's trying to get it back going, but that car is going nowhere. It was such a strange looking accident when it happened at the time, because it looked like they were pretty far away from each other, but they must have bumped wheels in some sort of way that caused the 72. So he's coming down. I don't know if he just lost it, but man, what a hit into the outside wall for the 72 machine. We're having to use this rear view camera a lot today, but for good reason. Here's Elkgrove around the outside. They almost bumped wheels right there. And for some inexplicable reason, he comes down and they do make contact. And he goes straight into the outside wall. one last look at it here. This will give sort of perspective to if the 72 came down the racetrack, which he did. I don't know if he was just trying to squeeze the 9 down or what, but the 9 wouldn't have known that he was coming down the racetrack anyway unless he was really paying attention to his right side mirror. But regardless of what happened there, the 72A by far gets the worst impact. I think that the 9 car can actually continue. I don't think that he had any hub damage or anything like that. But man, what a hit for the 72. One of the hardest hits we've seen all year so far. Up into the air, sliding to a stop. Oh, and someone's in the grass down here in Speedway 3. That's Alia Kulikov. So finished on the podium for the first time in her career last week. And now is losing a bunch of positions from P7 on the racetrack. It'll be really interesting to see what happened here because it was kind of hard to tell. Over the rumple strips on entry. Hits the second one on exit. Oh, and that gets the car really loose. And spins into the grass. So that was really just a rookie mistake. On board with Alia. Oh, man. I don't wonder if she doesn't have some damage from that first curb hit, and that's what caused her to go around so quickly on the second one. Because that really made a bang noise when she went over the first curb with the right or with the left rear tire. So you're gonna have to check up on that car and make sure everything's all right. Oh, and caution's out again down here down the front stretch, so this is probably going to set up a 2-lap dash. This is what we were talking about at the beginning of the race. We got one car going backwards into the pits. That's Chaz Brajon. And of course, the car that you're looking at right now is Mason Drown in the Mount VPN machine. So the caution has come out, and that will likely, like we said, set up a 2 or 3 lap dash to the finish. Another look from our stationary camera down here, looking down the front stretch. Watch up ahead. Contact between the two. Oh, and up and into the air and over. For Mason Drown. Oh my goodness. And very reminiscent of Michelle Pasternak last year. As well as, I believe it was DeMarcus Fenhouse that also had the same thing happen to him last year in Monza. And that was Michelle Pasternak at Motegi last year. So another one where the car clips wheels and the air gets underneath it and does a full flip. Unbelievable accident. Well, once again here, let's go on board with the rear view camera, Chaz Brajon. Drown starts getting up to him right there and just makes contact. My goodness, what a accident. Sliding upside down the front stretch. Rolls back onto the wheels remaining, and that takes both of them out of the race. It's a weird spot for it to happen because they make contact, I believe, right before they get to the start-finish line or straight after. No, it's going to be straight after, so is Drown coming up the track or is the 14 coming down? It may be a combination of both, but regardless, the Mount VPN machine goes right over the back of the 14. You can see it starts to get up into the air, and at this point it's skybound, and look at that. Major airtime down the front stretch, completely upside down. Lands on the right side of the vehicle. And ends up sliding all the way down the front stretch, out of the tri-oval, on the roll bar. As it comes along here, it's going to impact the outside wall. The right front with even more damage. The rear wing assembly being all torn up in all sorts of ways. Then you can see right here, the car finally starts losing some momentum as it's still sliding to a stop. Becomes perpendicular to the wall, or to the track, excuse me, and rolls back onto its wheels. Somehow, all four wheels managed to stay on that car through that wreck. This will be the view you're waiting for on board with Mason's round. Yeah, you can see he's still turning to the left, but it's just the natural banking of the tri-oval sort of makes him come up the racetrack just a bit as the 14 is trying to crest the tri-oval as well, and he's trying to come down. And that was just a racing incident there. One lap dash to the finish when we come back after this massive crash down the front stretch here at the Motorsports Playground. On the chase. Right now, Declan Turris in the number 10 machine has not won yet this season. Jiro Yakuin has. How much does he want this? These two were in a heated battle for the win at the automation test track during the rookie race. And now they are locked in a heated battle for the win and for a spot inside the top 5 in the points. Turris right up to the rear end of the 72 machine. He pulls out to the outside. Not enough of a move there yet. Hangs back. Going the long way around the outside, still trying to find a move. Declan Turris taking over for a champion of the sport, Giovanni Rubio, last year. Rubio wanted to focus solely on the BF2 series and making his way up to BF1. Declan said, sure, I'll step in. And now here he is going for the lead. No dive bomb this time. Remember what happened earlier in the race in that exact corner. Into Speedway 1 and 2 for the final time today. Jiro Yakuin took over for Lotus Coughlin last year, who finished inside the top 5 in points. Finished inside the top 5 in points in every single season of her career in the BF4 series. Jiro looking to do one step further as he blocks the number 10, headed into the final chicane for the final time today. A big bump over the rumble strip as they come out of the right-hander. Into Speedway 3 and 4 for the final time today. Turris is there around the outside. Will he get a run? Side by side out of the final corner for the final time. Not an inch between them. They almost make contact coming down the stretch for the final time today. Side by side to the line. Declan Turris takes it by a nose. Unbelievable. Declan Turris for CSS Racing has just won for the first time in the BF4 series. And what a way to get it done. Unbelievable. Unbelievable respect between these two. And that is your margin of victory. A nose cone for Declan Turris at the line over the 72 of Jiro Yakuin. Man, what an unbelievable finish for these two drivers.